Please turn off your mic.
All right, so now let's go ahead with what I would have done in class that we didn't have the time to do. So I wanted us to design a logo, Beats by Dre Logo. So let me go to google.com and then search out the logo, Beats by Dre. Meanwhile, for those who complain that the presentation is too small, please turn on the auto rotate feature of your phone. You know that auto rotate, so that once you rotate your phone to be horizontal, it changes like that. You know, like when you want to watch a movie. So turn it on and then rotate your phone to landscape so that you can see my screen better. So Beats by Dre logo. So this is the logo. I'll go to images. Okay, so once I'm in images, now I can see the logo. So let me quickly open one. Okay, so let me copy this. This is the logo, so I'll copy it and I'll go to my CorelDRAW and paste it. Okay, so please confirm you can hear me, so I'll be sure you are following.
I can hear you.
Okay, so this is the logo. Now this logo is made up of one big red circle, another smaller circle that is white. This is an outline that is white, and then a line also white. Okay, so to create this logo, we'll start by drawing a red circle. It's going to be a perfect circle. So I will go here and select my ellipse tool. Once I select that, I will hold Control because I want it to be a perfect circle. So I'll hold Control, then I'll click and drag. When I click and drag, I want it to be roughly the same size as this. Okay, so after doing that, I'll change the color of this circle that I've just made. I'll change the color to red, but not just any red. It's going to be the particular shade of red that is here. All right, so to do this, I'll use my color eyedropper tool. I think we already know this tool. So you select the color eyedropper tool, you go and take the red from here, you click on this logo here, you extract the color, and then you come here and you pour it or you paste it. So now we have the same color here and here. So that done, I'll simply go back to my pick tool and then I'll remove the outline because I don't want a black line around it. I just want the red shape. You can see it has an outline, so I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is to come here and remove the outline. Now the outline is removed. The next thing I'll be doing is to draw this circle. Okay, so I'm going to draw. Please, when you join, you turn off your mic. Please turn off your mic. Okay, so we are going to, I'm not going to draw this second circle, the white circle. Okay, it's going to be an outline. I'll take my ellipse tool. When I take my ellipse tool, I'll draw a perfect circle again. But this time the circle is going to be smaller than the one that I made before. So I'll draw a smaller circle. Alright, so now after drawing the smaller circle, I need to increase the thickness, or let me first of all change the color to white. Okay, let me change the color to white. So I'll go to white and right click, because I want to use an outline, so I'm not going to click on white. I'll instead right click so that I can change this outline color to white. Okay, so I'll come to my color palette here and right click on white. So once I do that, the next thing is for me to move this circle I have here to the middle of this red circle. Okay, so this circle here, I want it to be in the middle of this red circle. So once the circle is selected, please give me one moment. I'll be back. Give me a few seconds. Okay, so I'm back. Now, with the circle selected, you hold shift and select the bigger circle, that's the red one. And just like we did in class, I'll press CE on my keyboard. CE. And once I do that, it goes to the middle. Okay, it goes to the middle. Okay, so now it's in the middle. Now it's in the middle. The next thing that I want to do now is to increase the thickness. So once I put it in the middle, I'll deselect everything, okay, and select only this circle, the one in the middle. So I want to make it thicker. You can see this circle here has a thicker outline. So I'm going to select that circle and make the outline to be thicker. Okay, so let me check 4.0. 4.0 is not that thick, it's not thick enough. So let me check 10.0. 10.0 is too thick. So let me check 5.0. It's not thick enough. So let me check 7. I think 7 is thick enough, but my circle needs to be smaller. You can see the gap here is smaller than my own circle. So my own circle needs to be smaller. You can also see the distance here and here. So I'm going to make my own circle smaller, but I'll hold shift as I'm reducing it so that it will reduce from all sides. Okay, so I think I need to make this, I think I need to make this line a little bit thicker. So let me make it 7.5. 7.5, enter. So I think it's all right now. So now I've gotten two parts of this logo. Now the other part remaining is this line. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but if you follow through with how I'm going to do it now, you will be able to do it yourself. So now that we've gotten these two shapes, a bigger circle and a smaller one, we've put it in order the way it's supposed to be. Now the next thing will be to get this line. Okay, so we are going to draw that line using our freehand tool. So select this freehand tool and draw a vertical line, a straight vertical line that runs from top here to maybe somewhere down here. Okay, so now when we have that line, the next thing we will do is to set the thickness of this line, the same thickness we set in this white circle. That's the outline of this circle. I set mine to 7.5. So I'm going to set this line as well to 7.5. So I'll go here and put it 7.5. I'll hit enter. It must be the same thickness. There's a reason for that. Okay. What we are doing is that we are trying to avoid having anything sticking out from here. Okay, I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So once we've changed the thickness, now we need to align this line. We need to align the line to this circle, to the left hand side of this circle, just like it is here. This line is on the left side of this circle in the logo. So we need to take this line and put it on the left side of this circle in our own logo. So we'll select the line, hold shift, select the circle. This time around, I'll press L on my keyboard, which is a shortcut for left alignment. If I go to object menu and I go to align and distribute, you can see align left. That's L here. So either I click here and align it to the left, or I simply press L on my keyboard. So now that I've aligned it to the left, I'll now change the color. It's still black, it needs to be white. So I'll change the color to white. I'll right click on white. Remember, this is a line, so if you click to give it color, it won't talk to you. So you have to right click because it's a line. Okay, so now we've right clicked and it has changed its color to white. Okay, so now this place is too long. It's too long. You don't have this in the logo. Okay, the logo does not have this, so we need to make it shorter. Please, before I continue, confirm you can hear me so that I'll be sure you are following.
I can hear you.
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, so now that I have this line, it is longer, so I need to make it shorter. But I need to make it shorter up to a point, a very precise point. What I'm trying to avoid is this. I don't want to hang it here where I will have this thing sticking out. Can you see this thing? We don't want this, any part of the line sticking out. We want this thing to run continuously like this, round, and then join this line perfectly without having this here. So that's one of the reasons why we made this line the same thickness with the circle, because if you make it any thicker, it's going to stick out even from this side. So that's why we made it 7.5. okay, but then when we are reducing the size of this line, when we are shortening it from under, we are going to drag it until it says quadrant. Quadrant. I don't know if you can see that. Quadrant. That's exactly where this circle cuts in half. If you divide this circle into two equal parts, where it cuts in half here, that's the quadrant there. Okay, so once you reduce this line, you just do it slowly until you get to that point. You keep seeing some things. If you pass it, you come back. Okay, you'll see edge. No, you see intersection. No, what you are looking for is quadrant. So once it says quadrant, you stop. That way you are not going to have anything, any part of that line sticking out from here. Okay, so now we have it. It looks like we are done, but we are not. We are not done, because if you give this a black background, if you draw a shape and give it black color and send that shape to the back, okay, let's use order and send it to back of page. Okay, so now you can see that we are not done. This part of the line is sticking out up to this point. Okay, so we don't want that. We don't want that. So now this is what we are going to be doing. We are going to select this line here, hold shift, select the circle. Okay, we want to convert them to an object. These things are outlines. Watch what happens when I drag them. When I'm trying to move them, this is what you will see, because they are outlines. No matter how thick an outline is, whenever you are moving it, you only see this single line. Okay, no matter how thick an outline is, you only see a single line anytime you are moving it. Let's say, let me draw this line now. For instance, this is a line and I make the thickness, let's say, let me make it very thick, like 40. You can see how thick this is. An outline is not a shape, but it's very thick. I change the thickness to 40. But watch what happens when I move it. All you see is a single line. Unlike when you are moving a shape. If this were to be a shape, okay, a shape of approximate size, this is a shape. When you move it, you see there is a shape. Okay, but this is a line. You can see that. So I want to change this line, these outlines, to an object. Okay, when I change them to an object, I'll weld them and then use that object to trim this red circle, and that's how we are going to get our logo. Okay, so I'll select the two lines here and this circle, these outlines, the circle and the line. Then I'll go to object menu. Object menu. Then I'll see convert outline to object. Convert outline to object. So I'll just click that. Now they have become objects. You can see when I'm moving it, you can now see it's no longer a line, it's showing the full object now. Okay, because I have changed this to an object. So I'll change this to an object. Now the next thing I want to do, these are still two different objects. Okay, let me just quickly give them another color here so that you can see them clearly. So these are two different objects. All right, this one and this one, they are two different objects. Now I want to bring them together using weld. So you select this and hold shift, select the other one. Want to weld them together in a way that they become one object. So I'll go to object menu, point at shaping. The next thing is weld. Now they have become one object. Okay, so you can no longer separate them now because it's now one object. So now that I've converted this to an object and I have welded them, okay, I'm now going to use this object to cut through this red circle. All right, so I'll select the white object just like we did in class in other examples. I'll hold shift, I'll say you, this object, I will use you, I'll hold shift and select the red one to cut through this red circle. I'll go back to object menu, shaping, and then trim. I have trimmed this red circle now, so I can now remove this white one. The work of this white one is done. You see, I've removed it, but we still have this. This is the logo. The logo is done. So if you have a background, any background over it now, it will take up the color of that background because this place is open. This place is open. We've cut through it. So let me quickly give this a black color and send it to back. This is a background I just created. Let me send it to back, object menu, order, to back of page, so you can see the logo as well. If you check for this logo online, you'll see that sometimes it appears in a black background, and when it appears on a black background, the B changes to black. That is because this place is transparent, so it takes up any color where you put it. Okay, it's on a red. When it's on a red background, if it's white, this place becomes red. Okay, so with that, you can now change this to any color. If you change this to red, now it takes up I'm having an online class. I'll call you back later. Can you hear me? Please confirm that you can hear me. Can you confirm that you
I
can hear
can
me?
I can hear you, sir.
But I became lost for in creating the six and the
So we'll get back to that. So you anyhow you can now change this color, this logo, to any color, and then this part will take up the color of whatever the background is. So if the background is red and the logo is white, just like we saw it in this. Hello?
Yeah, okay, bro.
I'm in an online class. Can I call you later?
Okay, I think it was done.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I got a call, so that's why it cut me off a little bit. So so that is that. This is the logo. You can change the color to white. If it's white on a red background, this part becomes red because it's transparent. You change the background to something else, it changes to that color because it's transparent. So just like we saw in this here. Okay, here the logo is white on a red background. So that is that. Is there any questions you have regarding this?
So please, I have a question. My question is how you remove the where the upper like, line came, how it opened the circle. Please, I get that. Maybe I wasn't online when you did that.
You came late to the class now.
Sorry. Sir.
Is there any other question that anybody else has? Is there any other question?
Yes, I have a question. I want to ask, how did that bee curve like that?
I guess you also came late to the class.
Sorry.
So let me revisit this one more time. We started by drawing a red circle. Please turn off your mic. We started by drawing this red circle. Okay, after drawing it, we used the color eyedropper tool to collect the exact shade of red that is here on the logo and applied it on our own shape. Okay, so now after doing that, we now drew this smaller circle. This smaller circle is going to be for this one, the white one in the middle. Okay, so after drawing the smaller circle, can you turn off your mic, please? Cindy Opara, turn off your mic, please. So now, after drawing the smaller circle, all right, we now aligned it to be in the center of the red circle, like what we did in class. You select this, you hold shift. Okay, first of all, we change the color to white. We change the outline color to white. Right click on white to change the outline color to white. Okay, because this circle is white in color. Then after doing that, we aligned it to be in the center. We aligned it to be in the center. You select the smaller circle, hold shift and select the red circle. Then you press CE on your keyboard. It goes to the center of the bigger circle. So now we increase the outline thickness. Okay, we'll try looking for a thickness that will fit for this one. Then we'll reduce the size. We are trying to make it look like this as much as possible. Okay, so after we did that, we now drew a line. This line is this one here, because this logo is made up of this shape, a big circle, a smaller circle that is the outline is thick and white, and a line, an outline that is the same thickness with this circle and white as well. So we've drawn that line now. This is the line. Okay, so after drawing the line, we'll set the same thickness on the line, the same thickness we set on this circle. This circle now we set 7.5 mm, that's millimeter thickness. We will set the same thickness on this line. Okay, so we'll go here and change the thickness to 7.5. Then I'll hit enter. The line becomes thicker. Now that the line is thick, next thing I'm going to do is to align it to the left hand side of this circle, because you can see this line is at the left hand side of this circle. So I'm going to align this my line now to be at the left hand side here. So with the line selected, I will hold shift and select the circle. Next thing on my keyboard, I'll tap L. L means left alignment. L means left alignment. Okay, so after we've done that, we change the color of this black line. We change it to white. It's supposed to be white. So we change it to white. We go to white and right click, because this is a line, it's not a shape. So you have to right click on the color, it becomes white. Now that it has become white, another thing you're going to do is to shorten it. You know, this part, this place here is not in this logo. Okay, it doesn't have this part. So we need to shorten this our line. But we are going to be very careful and precise about it, because there's a particular point where it is supposed to stop, so that we will not have part of the line sticking out here or here. That was also the reason why we set the same thickness. We set this line to be the same thickness with the circle. It's just to avoid anything sticking out here, because you have in the main logo we have one continuous line running like this and then continuing straight. You don't have anything sticking out here. I will explain more as I'm doing the design. So I'll select the line and I'll start reducing it. Okay, if I don't stop where I'm supposed to stop, can you see this? Look at this. This is what I am trying to avoid. I don't want to have this. Okay, if you set the line and make it thicker than the circle, you are going to have this. Can you see it? So you try to avoid that as much as possible. You don't want to have this. You don't want to have this. Okay, so let me set it to the same thickness back again. Now this is the trick. When you are reducing this line, you have to stop at the point where it says quadrant. As you are moving, as you are reducing it and moving, you'll be seeing different things. Edge, intersection, other things. You want to stop at where it says quadrant. Bam. Quadrant is this place where the circle cuts in half. If you have a line now that cuts this circle exactly in half. Here, where that line touches this circle, that's the quadrant there. Okay, so that is exactly where you want to stop. Now, when you stop there, you are not going to have anything sticking out. If you go anywhere a little bit lower, you must have that thing, maybe very little, but it will still be there. You don't want to have this. Now, you go a bit higher than there. You go a bit higher than there, you have this. I don't know if you can see it. As little as it seems, you want to avoid it. So it's only at that place that you will stop and you will not have that. You have one continuous line running and then continuing with that. So now after you are done, remember these things are outlines. This one is an outline. This circle is an outline. So once you are done, you have to change them to objects. You change these outlines to objects. Okay, it looks as if we are done, but we are not done with the logo. If we have a different background, now let's say a black background, this is a black background, you can see that we are not done. Look at this. This is not supposed to be here. Okay, so we'll select this line. Remember, this is a different line, this is a different line, this one is a different line. So we'll select this line, hold shift and select the circle. Want to convert them to an object. Okay, so we'll go to object menu. We'll see convert outline to object. We'll convert the outline to an object. It's now an object. Two of them are now objects. Unlike when they are an outline. When you are moving an outline, this is what you see. No matter how thick an outline is, once you are moving it, you only see the line. Okay, but when we convert it to shape, object menu, convert outline to object, convert it to an object, this is what you will now see. Okay, this is how an object appears when you are moving it. All right, so now they are now objects, but there are two different objects. This one is a different object, this one is another object. So we want to bring them together as one object. So how do we do that? We weld them. We weld. So select this one, hold shift, select the other one, go to object menu, shaping, and then weld. Now we've welded them. They've become one object. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to use this object that we just created, to cut through this red circle. Trim. Okay, we use this object to trim this red circle. All right, because in Beats by Dre Logo, you will notice that wherever you put the logo, it takes up the background of that place. You can see the logo on a white background, this place is white. You see it on a black background, that place becomes black. You see it on a red background, this place becomes red. So that means that place is empty, that place is transparent. It was cut through. All right, so that's what we are going to do. We are going to use this object now and use it and slice this red circle in a way that we now have this shape in the red circle cut through. So we'll select this object first, we hold shift, be like, we'll use you to cut this red circle. We'll hold shift and select the red circle. Go to object menu, shaping, then trim. We have now used this object to trim the red circle. Now we can remove the object. The work of the object is done. We delete it. The logo is done. So wherever you put this logo now, it takes up the background of that place. Now it's on a black background. That B is black. Okay, the B is black. If we change this background to white, the B becomes white. We change it to yellow, it becomes yellow. Don't mind this one. This one is It's not, they didn't do it well here. It's supposed to be PNG, and it's supposed to have, this place is supposed to be open. So now anywhere, any background you change this to, this will take up the color of that background. So that's how it is supposed to be. So the logo is done. I guess we are clear now. Are we clear?
Question, please.
Yes, sir.
Question.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, no, but why is it that during
Now,
when you were cutting the line of the object that looks like B, the down SSEs, we never converted the lines to objects. It was easier then. But when it comes to the upside, it was converted to the line were converted to objects. And the thing before it was trimmed, and the thing makes it more difficult and cumbersome.
it is not more difficult. We,
Same approach that we now use in cutting the SSCs that drops to the downside. That's my question.
okay, so now we converted this object before we converted the object to these lines to outlines. Okay, when is an outline like this, it's easier to work with, like to change the size. Let me put a black background over this so that you can be seeing this better. Okay, so this is it. This is what it looks like. Now for here, we don't really have the need now to change it to an object, so we'll just be working on it as an outline. So we use that outline and we reduce it until it says quadrant. Okay, now we don't need to reduce this place. We actually need it to exceed this red circle, because if it doesn't exceed it, it won't cut through very well. It won't cut through the red circle like this. I don't know if you understand. So we need it to exceed this place. All right, so now that it has exceeded this place, we will not cut through with outline, because no matter how thick an outline is, it is still an outline. If you cut through with this thing as an outline, it's just going to cut lines here. It won't cut at this shape, this thickness. Let me give you an instance. This is this object now. Okay, let me give this object a green color, for instance. Okay, this is an object. Now I draw a line over it like this. This is an outline. Now let me make this outline to be thick. Let's say 10 millimeter, or let me even make it 30. Okay, you can now see that this outline is very thick, but it's still a line. Anytime you want to move it, look at, this is still a line. It is not the same thing with a shape. This is a shape. Okay, let me move this shape to this side. Let me give it a black color. Okay, these two things are not the same things. This is an outline, this is a shape. Okay, if I use an outline to cut through this green shape, hold shift and select this, and I go and trim it, object, shaping, trim. Even though this outline is very thick, look at what it trimmed. You can't even find it because it's very thin. It's just that line that it trimmed. It's only when you select your shape tool that you will see the line. I don't know if you can see it now. It trimmed it just a single line, the thinnest trimming possible. It's like when you just use scissors and cut something and still you don't separate it, it's just there. So this is how an outline will trim an object. It won't trim it with the size of the thickness. So that's why before you trim, this is an outline now. If we use it to trim this, we will not have this. We'll simply have a single line that runs like this. We'll still be seeing this red circle. We won't even know it has been cut through because it's an outline that cut through it. Okay, unlike now when you use this shape and trim this green shape. Okay, object, shaping, trim. Can you see the difference? It trims the size of the shape, but this one will trim the size of the outline. Look at the only place it trimmed. Very thin. It didn't really even make an opening there. So that's the reason why we must convert these things to shape these outlines. We have to select the both of them and convert them to objects. Convert outline to object. We'll do that. Now is an object. It's going to cut through this red shape very well. Okay, so we can weld them. Welding is here. It's here in your property bar, this icon. You may not really need to go into object menu. Shaping, weld is right here. Okay, this is the icon. You click there and hold, you will see weld. I've welded them. Now I hold shift, select the red circle, come back here, you will see trim. Okay, it's there in the property bar, but you know where it is in the menu if you choose to go there, but they brought it out here for easy access. So you click on trim, it trims it very well. Now when you remove it, you have this. If you do this with an outline, you are not going to have this. You will have something similar to what you have here. Just a single, very thin line cutting through this. You won't even see it, that it has cut through it, unlike here. So I don't know if I answered your question. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So do we have any other question?
I have a question, sir.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
just want to know how you said go left for the line for the horizontal line. The way you inserted into and it became near the circle. That's the only question I have. You said go left. I didn't get it.
This is a
Is it
vertical
from the
line.
object?
A horizontal line
Yes.
runs from left to right. A vertical line runs from
Sorry, a
top to down.
vertical line. Sorry,
It is
the
alignment.
vertical line.
We have different alignments. This is a circle. Let's say we have a circle here, and the circle has this thickness. Okay, and we have another line here. We have this line with the same thickness of 10.0. Okay, this is a circle and a line. If I want this line to come and be here, this part, this left hand side of the circle, I align it to the left. It's as simple as that. The same thing we do with CE. CE is center alignment. Centers horizontally, centers vertically. Okay, so you select this line. The one you select first is the one that will move. You hold shift, select the second one. You are like, this line, I want to align you hold shift to this circle. Which alignment? Left alignment. You press L on your keyboard. This is left alignment. If I press arrow, this is right alignment. If I press T, this is top alignment. It's aligned at the top. I press B, this is bottom alignment. I press C, C is centers horizontally. It's aligned to the center horizontally, but not to the center vertically. I press E, comes to the center vertically. So what we want to do is L. L is the left. So that's how we got it to be there. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, so if you don't have any other question, we'll now go ahead and type the text. I'm not sure we have the particular font that was used in typing the text. Okay, I think this is a custom font. I think this is a custom font. You can see the B. The B here it looks like this. So this could be a custom font that was designed by the designer of the logo himself. So let me see if I can find it. I actually have a font that looks like this, but let me see if it's going to be the same. So let me type this, Beats by Dre, by Dr. Dre. Okay. I have a font that looks like this. Let me see if I can't remember the name of the font, but let me search for it. This is my font list. So I'll keep scrolling. If I see the font, I will know, but I can't remember the name. I'm not sure it's this one. No, it's not this one. It's not this one. Let me keep going. If I see that font, I will know, but I've forgotten the name. Selected a wrong font. I don't know if it's this. Let me check. It's like this is the font I was looking for, but it doesn't look like it. Let me check further. If I don't find it, I'll try to search online to see if this font is actually available online, or if it's a custom font. So okay, so this font, the one I selected before, that's the font I was looking for. It's close to it, but it's not it exactly. Okay, so the B here still has this, so it's not supposed to have that. So let me look for it. Let me go to Google and let me open a new tab and search. Let me go to Google and search download Beats by Dre Logo font. Okay, Beats by Dre Logo font. Looks like it's available online. Let me open this. Let me open this one. Okay, it's not here. I think this is someone asking for the font. Okay, so let me go back and check the first option. Okay, so this is the font. I think we just found it. So this is the font. Personal use free, so we can actually download it. So I just click on download font. So now it has just downloaded. Look at it. So A Beat by Kai, that's the name of the font. A Beat by Kai. So I'll just open the font. Okay, so this is a font. There are two of them. Okay, it's just one, just different formats, TTF and OTF, through type font and open type font. Let me install the open type font. Install. Now I've installed the font. Now all I have to do is change this my text. I'll go and look for that font. It's Beats by Shebi, a Beats by Kai, right? So this is it here. So, and just like that, we have our Beats by Dre font. Okay. So all we have to do now is change this one to red. That red that we use is down here. Any color you use in CorelDRAW in your work, it will come down here. So I don't need to start selecting it again with color eyedropper. Just come here, down here, and select it. Okay. Right here is gray. Let me look for one of the gray colors. I think I can just find it by clicking. Okay, so I think I found it. So let me resize the logo. I'll reduce it and bring it close to this place. Okay, I'm not trying to make it to be perfect. I just want to get as close as possible to the original logo. It may not be perfectly the same. Okay, so this is the original logo, this is our own. So any questions? Do we have any more questions?
Sir, the TM there is missing. The TM under the S is
You can
missing.
put it now. You can just type that and put it. So like I said, we are not trying to make it perfect. You can just type TM. You bring it here. Meanwhile, do you know what TM stands for?
No, sir.
But you want us to put it, and you don't know what you don't know what it stands for. Well, TM stands for trademark. Trademark. So Beats by Dre is actually a company that manufactures headphones, like earphones now and headphones. So this is their trademark. So it means you can't use this logo if you are not Beats by Dre. So it's their trademark. So let's just put it here, make it look similar. Okay. So that is it. There is also another TM here. It means you can't use this text. This text goes with the logo, Beats by Dre. You also cannot use this by Dr. Dre. Beats is trademarked. By Dr. Dre also is trademarked. So you can't use this font and the way it is like this, you can't use it if you're not Beats by Dre. So let's duplicate this TM. Let's duplicate it, move it to this side, holding control, move it to here, change the color to gray like it is on the original logo. So we are done. Any other question? This meeting will end very soon. We'll have just a few minutes.
Please, we
So I
have
wanted.
achieved a lot with the time spent together.
Someone was talking. Okay, seeing the Okpara, you are raising your hand. Modesta Immaculate, also, you are raising your hand.
Um, Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please, I'm really having a very serious network issue, so I wasn't able to, don't even know where to start asking questions.
So you have to find a network that works in your area. If MTN does not work, check if Airtel works or if Glo works. So we live in a digital era where you don't have to be physically present to attend classes. So you have to try to find a network that works best in your area so that you can attend online classes without having any issues. We even have universities, open universities, where you don't have any lecture hall. Like Nigerian Open University, you don't have any lecture hall. All the lectures are online. There are universities abroad that you can stay in Nigeria and attend and gain their degree. Their classes are online. Once it's time for class, you log into Zoom or whatever platform they're using, or Google Meet or whatever, and you take the classes, take your notes and everything. you know for some of them, the exam is online. National Open University of Nigeria, their exam, that's the only time you see your classmates. You come to a hall or something and write the exam physically. Every other thing is online, assignments. So you can't give excuse and say, "Hey, I didn't do my assignment because of network." You have to move with the tides. So these days we can now have online classes using internet and platforms like this. So you have to ensure that you are not left behind by finding out the network that works best in your area.
So in a situation where you're designing a circle or a square, I want to make it look as if it's folded at one side. How is it obtained, sir?
Is folded.
As if you fold it a little bit.
I can't quite understand what you mean by folded.
Like a square now, and you want to fold one part. It will no longer be that square shape. It will be as if the other side is folded inside a bit. Then that other top will be having a different color that is different from the entire square itself.
I
It's
really
mostly found on invitation card where they do write the date or something.
I really have not understood what you mean. I may have to see it. Maybe next time you have class, you can find out an example of what you mean, so that I'll see it.
Okay, sir.
Sir, I have a question. Must the circle and the circle feet and the B feet be the same thing?
Yes, they must,
Why?
because you want to have a seamless transition from this circle to the line. You don't want this line sticking out somewhere here. If you make this line bigger, if you make it thicker, it's going to stick out here or stick out the other side. Do you understand? Now you make it
Okay.
smaller, the
Okay, sir.
circle is going to stick out here and then the line will not join the circle exactly where the circle ends. I don't know if you understand.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
This is what I mean. This is a circle. Okay, let me give it a thickness of 10. Okay, and this is a line. Let me give that line a thickness of 10 as well. Let me align it to the left. Let me give them different colors so that you understand better. Let me give this one a yellow color. You can see that it joins this circle exactly where it should. Okay, they meet here exactly at this point. You don't have black sticking out here, you don't have yellow sticking out here. So if you make this one to be bigger, let's say you make it 12 instead of 10. Okay, let me send it to the back. Can you now see? Can you see this? It's sticking out here and here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and okay, you make it smaller. Let's say you make it 5. Right? Now, you don't have this seamless transition. You have the circle curving in again before continuing straight. Do you understand? This is what you're going to have. And this is not what the logo looks like. The logo just goes straight like this, a curve, and it joins this line and then straight up. It doesn't curve inwards and then come out again. No. Just like you have here, you have the circle curving in. You don't want to have these joints here. You don't want to have this angle here. You want it to be just the same thickness.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I think here, this is where we'll wrap it up for today. So we'll continue in our next class when we meet in class.
Thank you, sir. Good night, everyone.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Have a
Thank
nice day.
you. Mr. Nobu, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So have a good night.